Zach here, full-time reseller. It's a beautiful morning here in northern New Mexico, and I got a huge busy day ahead of me. Today is Saturday, which is one of my favorite days of the week because that means garage sales, and that's where I find a lot of my goods to resell for profit for very cheap. So my plan of attack is this today. The local church thrift store that I shop at a lot is having a huge inventory reduction sale outside, and so I'm gonna hit that first as it starts at 7:30, and then just right down the road a few miles, they're doing a fundraiser sale at a local business. So I wanna get to that rummage right after and see what I can't pick, and then from there I'll head into the neighboring big city and try to hit all the garage sales on my normal loop. So follow along. Hopefully there'll be some things I can teach you. I'll try to give a few of my tips about things I've learned from reselling, and hopefully that's going to help you to make your game a lot easier and help you to be more successful. So I'll do a haul at the end. Thanks for joining. My first stop of the day, but I want to throw out a little tip of instruction or something that might help you down the road. So when I started getting into the clothing game, one of the things that really helped me is I was watching another very successful clothing seller online on YouTube, and one of the things he said was focus on the things you can predominantly find in your area. And for him, it was Western wear because he lives in Texas, and some other items he mentioned. But for me, I really thought about that. And because I live in New Mexico and it's part of the Southwest, there is a ton of Western wear. And so I tend to buy a lot of vintage brush popper Wrangler shirts and some of the high quality Western wear brands like Ariat and Cinch. But the other thing I can find all the time in my area, because this is an area scattered with a lot of oil filled work, is I find a lot of flame resistant clothing, a lot of duck canvas, and just work utility wear in general. And so for that reason, that's become a big part of what I try to source to resell for profit. And so I also have a lot of golf courses in my area. We have several ski resorts. And so I look for high-end clothing that is donated, and I find those kind of brands all the time. So be on the lookout for the things that are most popular. It'll make your reselling business easier. It'll make the sourcing easier, I should say. And for that reason, I just wanted to share that with you. It made me think differently about what I was looking for. I hope that helps you. I'm gonna get out and give some of these people a hard time because I know them and they're good to me, and maybe I'll find something I can resell for profit. Just getting set up out here. They're running a little behind, so I'm probably gonna come back. So church thrift store wasn't quite set up. I was a little shocked by that because they were telling me how much they wanted to be ready for the 7:30 start time. And I was there helping them set up a few tables and just realized I probably should peel down the road to the rummage sale that starts at 8 o'clock. I do need to get a little bit of gas in my vehicle and get some coffee. I find the good in any situation, even if it's something like this morning where my plan of attack got a little thrown off. And this probably worked out for the best because I was able to get some gas. I was getting close to empty, and I definitely needed some more coffee. They didn't have my favorite coffee roast today, so I'm facing all kinds of adversity, but that's all right. We're gonna get through it. Got fueled up, got some coffee in my hand, and unfortunately, the local business that was running a rummage sale next to the gas station is just not ready yet either. So fortunately for me, as I was going into the gas station to get some coffee, my dad called. He's right down the road at our local flea market. He gave me a tip that there's a lady there with some pretty nice jackets. I have scored some nice work utility jackets and vests at my flea market in the past. There's several people that like to vend those type of items there. So once again, kind of regrouping. That's all right. I'll probably hit the flea market, see what she got, and then I might double back to this local business that's having a rummage sale at 8 o'clock. I'm just regrouping. That's life. So we'll see what we can't find.
Can't remember shit.
How much you got on this shirt right here, ma'am?
$2.
$2. My buddy Trevor, he sells his own artwork here, sells some cool vintage collectibles. Sold me a Planet of the Apes lunchbox last summer for 30 bucks. I sold it for 160. Didn't see anything out here to invest my money into, but it's just too early anywhere I've went, so I better get on the road to the garage sales because usually there's people ready and waiting for business there. That's how reselling goes. Got to be able to regroup. Made the decision to double back towards my house to the local business that was doing a rummage sale. It is just 8 o'clock. As we've moved closer towards fall, I've noticed there's just been, in general, less garage sales. And sometimes the garage sales have just been coming out later, more like 8:30, 9 o'clock before I see boxes up. There's been less and less people posting garage sale listings online. And that's just the nature of how it is as we move towards the winter months. I will definitely be trying to source as much as I can in the next few weekends, because when the garage sales die out, then I'm left to thrifting and estate sales, and those can be expensive. But one trade-off I find with thrifting is I tend to find better quality brands, and the brands that I sell most, I just have to pay up for them. That's all right. That's the trade-off. As to where garage sales, as I've said in past videos, you can buy stuff for really cheap, but sometimes it's junky, sometimes it's beat up, or maybe it's a banger, maybe it's a bolo. So there's different ways to go about your business. Just being able to be flexible, like I'm having to be this morning, and double back to another sale is part of it, but also keeping a mindset of how am I going to source, what am I going to be paying, what are the cheapest places to source from. And I've said this in the past, and I sound like a broken record, but you can't go wrong with being friendly with the people that own your local thrift stores, or even thrift stores you travel to. Sometimes they might clue you into the things you like to sell. Maybe they'll break something out from the back that's worth a ton. So just being nice, just being friendly, you just can't beat that. And I think that goes for life in general. So I'm pulling up now, gonna see what I can't find. Hopefully there's a little bit of stuff out. If there's nothing here, I am gonna cut my losses and double back into the big city that I like to source from. And there is actually some stuff set up. So I'll go ahead and film some footage. We'll see what we can find. So got out, walked around, and it was apparent that they really just had some tables set up with a bunch of boxes on the tables, really nothing pulled out. But I did run into a good friend of mine who's a reseller. He's already been through the neighboring big city that I do most of my garage sales at, and he said there really wasn't much happening. So crazy enough, I think I'm gonna double back to the Nazarene thrift store, which is the church-ran thrift store right down the road from my house. Gave them a little more time to set up. It's been about 30 minutes since I started there, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop back in over there and see if there's anything maybe I didn't see when I was there earlier this morning. This has definitely been a start of the day that's one to remember. Been playing a pinball, but that's all right. I just gotta do what I gotta do to find some things to resell. So this is the furniture room, and I don't come in here a whole lot because a lot of this stuff's big stuff, but I just figured I'd peek my head in here and look around. So just bailed the church thrift garage sale again, and unfortunately I missed a really nice pair of La Sportiva boots. Just how it goes, just missed them by a few minutes. Another fellow reseller had them, at least he grabbed them. So I'm coming back here for the third time to the locally run business to see if I can't find something. My dad is here. He's holding on to a jacket, but it's a brand I'm unfamiliar with, and my dad's not real great with clothes, but he tries, he helps, and I appreciate that. So I'm gonna pull in and see what I can't come up with. So this is take two on the local business having a fundraiser sale. See what we can't find. All right, so unfortunately I had to stop filming because I came into this lot of some Nike Air Max shoes. All three pairs are in pretty good condition. They are missing their insoles, but I only paid $1.50 a piece for all three of these pairs of shoes. And then I also got this vintage Levi's jacket. It does have some stains, but it is Sherpa lined and it's very vintage. And then lastly, I got this Rocket Joe motorcycle jacket for just a couple bucks. So I'm glad that I doubled back and came back to this sale and waited for them to put more stuff out. Total spent less than $7, I believe. So I'm gonna get down the road. I gotta catch up on some garage sales in the neighboring big town. Keep following along to a haul at the end. My first garage sale in the neighboring big city I do most of my garage selling at. Let's see what I can find. Nothing there but some overpriced jackets and junk. Gonna sail on to the next one. Memento Mori. A big strikeout once again, just how it goes. Gotta keep being persistent. So I'm sitting outside of like my 7th or 8th garage sale. A good friend of mine who's a clothing reseller, everything reseller, kind of turned me on to this one by sending me a text this morning. I believe these people have a garage sale every so often, so I think I've dealt with them in the past. It's been a weird day. That's all right. Gotta stay hunting. That's how it works. Not seeing too much here. Struck out again. That's how it goes. It's getting later in the morning, so a lot of the good stuff goes away as the day persists on. That's the importance of getting out there early and getting to as many as you can, as quick as you can. And this morning was just strange because I doubled back and forth between the church thrift stores yard sale and the independent businesses rummage sale, and that's all right. I did get some good things. I wish I had about 5 to 10 more items considering how many stops I've made, but this is the nature of how it goes. Just staying on your purpose and trying to always keep, as I always say, that mindset of abundance, that something good is going to come your way. So that's how I'm focusing and that's how I'm thinking. And I still got a good portion of my loop in the big city I like to source from to go through. So let's see what we can't come across. Morning.
Good morning.
How you ladies today?
Good.
Having any luck? Just starting, just getting it all out. I'm doing pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Early. All early and
Nothing but women's and girls clothing, and I don't specialize too much in that, so we're gonna move down. All right, so unfortunately I just got out at a garage sale, walked up and I was filming some B-roll or some side footage, started digging through some of the pants, and they kind of questioned if I was taking pictures, and I just let them know that I had a YouTube channel, asked them if I could go ahead and film some footage of maybe what they had. They weren't real comfortable with it, and I find that that happens every few garage sales. I try to be kind of stealth. Oftentimes I just ask people if it's all right if I film what I'm doing, and most of the time it is okay. They weren't cool with it. They did, however, sell me some Miss Me jeans for just a couple bucks. Not in great shape, but Miss Me jeans usually go for a lot more at garage sales, yard sales. So that's okay. It's still something to throw in the back of my truck here and to show you as a haul at the end. And Miss Me jeans are a pretty good brand. I tend to be able to sell them for about $20 to $30 depending on condition, the style, and whatever the wash is on them. But I like looking for thick stitch jeans. I do really good on women's denim, and I've been really trying to source as much denim as I can as we move into fall and winter. So gonna go ahead and race to the next spot. I might even stop at my local Goodwill and just run around there for a few, and we'll keep trucking. Into my local Goodwill. I always like to do this because it's right off the loop. I like to browse around when I'm garage selling. It's also a good stop off point to just stretch my legs, use the restroom, and look for anything that might be worth picking. I'm gonna make this quick though because there's better deals at the garage sales that are going on right now. Das Boot. All right, so I love pushing Sony. This is priced up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and check it, check the comps, see if it's worth the investment. I don't want to spend too much time here. I'm going to cut my losses and get back on the road and try to find some garage sale deals. It is late morning, and as the morning goes on, I find less and less stuff. It's not uncommon for me to hit 30 to 40 garage sales on a weekend or even on a Saturday, so I'm gonna go ahead and get back. Didn't find anything there, but that's okay because I really like to invest my money where I can stretch it out. And this time of year, again, that's garage sales. So we're gonna jump in the car. There is an estate sale up the road, and my good friend Seth Tanner, who has a thrift store in my hometown, tends to work these estate sales for another woman. And I'm gonna go by and maybe see if I can't catch up with him, say hi, look around. And then probably tomorrow morning when the thrift store is doing, the estate sale is doing their half off prices, that's where I might think about buying something. Unless I really come into a great banger. Estate sales can be kind of expensive, but I do find a lot of vintage collectibles and vintage clothing. So something to think about if you're getting into reselling. Different areas to source will give you different things, and that is how you need to game plan. So gonna race down the road. What y'all want for this?
I choose like
$2. Okay. All right, so I did pick up this Wrangler. It's a pearl snap. It's flame resistant. It's gonna need wash, but it was only a couple bucks. I haven't bought anything in over an hour, so I'm glad to find something like this, and this is something I would sell. It's a pretty good size, just need to get it clean. So that's a small victory there. I sell a lot of flame resistant clothing. Wrangler flame resistant shirts don't sell for as much as like Ariat or Cinch, but it was pearl snap. It does have a little bit of a stain on it, but that's nothing uncommon for flame resistant clothing, as work utility wear tends to be kind of dingy, can have stains or holes, and believe it or not, it sells anyway. So a few bucks is fine. I can usually turn a few bucks into $18 to $22 on a shirt like that. Gonna race down and hit the estate sale I was telling you about, and we'll go from there. Didn't see anything really worth grabbing, especially for the full price day, but I did run into my good friend and another couple resellers that I'm pretty good friends with. Nice to always catch up, hear how they're doing. They always are kind enough to give me some intelligence, or at least tell me something, and I try to do the same. There's so much stuff out there that I always tell people it'd be selfish to not share the wealth of information. I think it's good to do that. I know a lot of resellers can be kind of private, and I don't blame them for doing that. There's things I sometimes keep to myself, but as a whole, I try to share that wealth of knowledge because a lot of my friends are often buying and selling different things than me, and I just think that living that abundant mindset lifestyle is about that. It's about sharing, it's about love, and it's about giving, and I think life's about that. So regardless of not finding much here, it was a good little stakeout, and I'm not sure if I'll come back to this tomorrow when they have reduced prices, because I just didn't really see anything worth coming back for. But we are getting to about 10:30 in the morning, so I know the garage sales are probably going to start having less quality goods. I'm going to try to haul butt and see if I can't stake a claim on a few more things, because I really haven't bought a whole lot today. And as I said earlier, I've been trying to be aggressive with the garage sale season coming to an end. I want to source as many goods as I can before winter hits, because when winter hits, I have to start thrifting, and thrifting can be very expensive. So I want to keep adding to that death pile. So keep following along. If you've made it this far, go ahead and reach out and hit that like button if you're liking what you see, and we'll go from there. I found these Chippewa work boots. They're steel toe. I think I'm gonna score these. The guy wanted $5 for them. They are a little beat up, but he wanted $5 and I gave him $3. He was good with that offer. Work boots like this are a little hard to sell, but these do have a decent sell-through rate. They're steel toe, they're waterproof, and they're a great brand, so I couldn't pass them for that price. The laces are kind of shredded, and I hate cleaning shoes, but that's all right. I might be able to get 50, 70 bucks, maybe even a little more. So gonna hit the road, find some more deals. So had to stop filming for a couple garage sales. I've been at it since 4 o'clock this morning, and between listing items online, taking pictures, and then uploading a short and doing some filming for that, and then on top of all of it, driving around this morning for several hours. I just ran my phone down to nothing. So the first couple garage sales I stopped at when I wasn't filming, I really didn't find anything, but I just left a garage sale where I was able to get some BKE Tyler denim jeans, as well as some women's silver Suki jeans. I got them for $2.50 a pair. She did want 4 a piece, but I was able to kind of talk her down, and that is generally the case with used items. If you just don't lowball people, oftentimes you can get the deal you want or come close to it. So just be cautious when you're making deals with people. Try not to offend people. That sometimes can get you no better deals if you're trying to buy other things at the same sale. And so I always try to be gracious, and sometimes I'll just pay people for the first item the cost of what they're asking, and that sometimes helps soften up the next few deals to come. But gonna move on down the road to my hometown. It's a smaller community. There may not be a whole lot of garage sales there, but as I said earlier, as the garage sale season is starting to wind itself down, I want to be aggressive and source as many goods as I can for the winter months, because winter can be really hard for a reseller. And while sales are good, trying to source inventory for a reasonable price in the small community I live in can be difficult without having to lean heavily on thrifting. So all things to think about. Keep following along, and as I said earlier, hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. Morning, how are you? Guys doing any good today?
Yeah.
Good.
We kind of put our sign out too late.
There'll still be people coming through.
They usually wake up till 9 or 10.
Sure. A little bit of the late bloomers, huh? Strike out there. There was a Dooney and Burke purse, but it was just a little beat up, and I don't want to pay up for it. So I had to go ahead and go stealth mode incognito and throw these sunglasses on, because there's a garage sale right down the street from one of my old squeezes, and I want to not have to stop and talk to her. Can you blame me? All right, so I managed to squeeze past the old girlfriend's house unnoticed, but the garage sale right down the street from her wasn't worth a darn. So that's how it goes. Okay, so here is my haul at the end of a half a day of garage selling. I hit a thrift store. I also went to the flea market. I hit a church rummage sale as well as a fundraiser sale. And so today, not my best day for a Saturday. Generally, I'm used to sourcing about 15 to 25 items on a Saturday if the garage sales are good. And while I did probably hit nearly 30 garage sales today, there just wasn't a lot of things I wanted to invest my money into. So I'm gonna go ahead and step off this stool. I'll get up close and personal with some of these items. I'll share with you what I paid and what I think I could be able to resell them for, and I'll let you go. I picked up this Wrangler Pearl Snap flame resistant work shirt for just a few bucks. I should be able to get somewhere between $18 to $22 for it. It is gonna need washed, but that's all right. I do sell a lot of work utility and flame resistant garments. That's something I said earlier that I can find often. So be thinking about that when you're sourcing goods. Think about what's real common in your area and then attack that market. Alrighty, so I picked up this 3 pair of Nike Air Max men's shoes. These are all in pretty good condition, and these shoes will generally sell for anywhere from 40 to 80 bucks. But there's one drawback to these shoes. None of them have their insoles, and that is okay. It does devalue them. I will have to denote that as a flaw. I will put read with asterisks on the sides of the title, and that is how I get people's attention to hopefully understand. I've even went as far as just putting no insoles on the title itself, but I felt like these were worth the grab because I didn't pay but $1.50 a piece, I think, for them. And so still a good pickup. Glad to have grabbed them. Definitely wish they had the insoles. That does make it a little bit less value for what I can resell them for, but that's all right. And then I'm going to jump up here. Now, this is a pair of women's silver Suki capris. I did not realize these were capri pants when I purchased them. I thought they were just a shorter inseam. That's still okay. It's just not the capri season, but they are a great denim brand I resell often. I should be able to probably sell these for 18 to 22 bucks. I just never get as much for capris, and this time of year is not a great time to be selling them because they're more spring and summer type jeans. No big deal. Only paid $2.50, I believe, for them. And so then above here, I got this pair of Miss Me jeans at the garage sale that the owners of the garage sale just didn't really feel comfortable with me filming. But that's all right. They made me a deal on these Miss Me jeans. Miss Me jeans will go from anywhere from $20 to $30, depending on condition. These do have a small distressed area on the front thigh, but I still think I should be able to get somewhere between $20, $22 for them, as they do have the embroidered back pockets and they are in pretty good condition otherwise. And then I also picked up this pair of BKE Tyler jeans. They are very wide in the waist. I think they're size 40. I tend to step away from size 40 waist jeans of any brand because they're just slow to resell. But I love BKE jeans for men. They sell pretty quick for me. So I was okay investing $2.50, I think, for this pair of pants. And then I'm going to scan over here. This right here is a Joe Rocket. It's a lightweight, partial leather, partially perforated bike jacket. I didn't pay but a few bucks for this at the business fundraiser sale. And so I probably could get 30 to 40 bucks out of it. If it was all leather, it would definitely go for more and be more desirable. But for those prices, I just couldn't pass on it. It will probably take a while to sell because the sell-through rate wasn't exceptional. But there was a big history of Joe Rocket bike leather jackets sold on eBay. So do your homework, kids. Make sure it's worth the purchase. And then this one right here is a little bit of an honorable mention. My dad found this Joe Rocket jacket right after I had bought the red one. He paid just a few dollars for it. It is in better condition. I believe this one was probably more worthy of $40 to $60, but it is only partial leather and partially perforated. And so then I'm going to scroll up here to these 2 sets of boots. Now, the set of boots on the right are a set of Red Wing work utility boots. They are steel toe. And my real good friend, Phil, who is also a guy that's into reselling, actually picked these up for me yesterday at a local thrift store. He's not real crazy about shoes and clothes, but he's always keeping an eye out for me. Phil, I appreciate you, brother. You've helped my reselling game tremendously. And for me, just being grateful about people in my life that help me is a big deal. It makes me feel good. It gives me perspective. Now, the boots on the left are some Chippewa. They are waterproof. They are also steel toe, and they're of a very wide width. They are pretty beat up, and they're going to need a new set of shoelaces. But Chippewa boots are exceptional, and I do sell very beat up boots. I don't make a ton off of them. If they're in better condition, sometimes you can get upwards of $80 to $120 for some good steel toe leather boots in a good quality brand. Both of these pair of boots here, I'll probably try to get at least $50 to $60 out of. I might have to wait a while due to their condition. The Chippewa boots I only paid $3 for, and then I paid my friend Phil $10 for the Red Wings on the right side. So there's money in them. You just got to be patient. I like work utility wear, and again, it's stuff that I can find around here very easily. All right, so I'm winding it down. This is a pretty small haul today. I definitely wish I would have got more stuff. This is a cool find. This is a vintage denim Sherpa-lined Levi's jacket. It is beat up and has some stains on it, but it doesn't have any holes, and I'm pretty good about getting stains out. If I can get the stains out, the distressed color fade might actually work for it. There's a lot of people out there that like that vintage wore out look, and so that'll be a keyword I'll put on the description of this item, is simply that, distressed, faded, you name it, retro, 70s, 80s. There's all kinds of keywords you can put in your description that'll just help get more views. So I've been really doing better with my sales since I've been spending a little bit more time on adding keywords to my descriptions. And so there you have it. Definitely not my best haul for a Saturday of garage selling, especially as many places I went to, but that's how it goes. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, please hit like, make a comment, or subscribe. If you see me walk past something that's worth some kind of value, please hit me up in the comments. I appreciate the feedback. I love reselling, and as I've said in past videos, I love to learn more. That's the fun part about doing this, is that the potential to learn more is limitless, and I think that's a big key to life, is always trying to learn new things. So thanks again for your time. I'll be back next time with a short on what I sold.